Joining us now is my friend, Scott Baker. I don't always have friends on. Usually I have people on and they become friends, but he was a friend first. I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. But ladies and gentlemen, Scott Baker. Hi.
So great. You know, did people tell you, your eyes are just, they pop. They're
My eyes are
beautiful.
pop.
They're
That's
beautiful.
Jacqueline. All right, Jacqueline Kelly does my makeup, and the eyes are mine, but the way that they pop, it's all her artistry. Yeah.
So the eyes you owe to your parents
That's it,
and
right.
Jacqueline for the makeup.
Exactly, yeah, Jacqueline. She's, you know what it is? It's like, because we are friends, and you know me. So most of the days, Scott, I have my hair up, like in a swirl with like a paintbrush or a pen.
I've seen you at the charity softball
Exactly,
games. Yeah.
charity softball
I've seen
games.
you.
I mean, that's how Donna rolls. But then when I do the show, there's this transformation, like a baseball player, right?
Yeah.
When a baseball player puts on his glove. Now, you're also a performer, so tell me about improv. How did that start for you?
Oh, wow, that's a great story.
Okay.
I think it's a great story anyway. So when I was a kid, we had a great family. We had 3 boys, me and my 2 brothers and my parents. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. Then some tragedy hit. So I was the youngest. So my middle brother passed away when I was 4, he was 7. We moved out to Long Island from Brooklyn, and then my father passed away when I was 10. So there was a dark cloud over the family. My mother, my surviving brother, went into a deep depression. It didn't affect me as much because, you know, when you're young and you have tragedy, you just think that's the way the world is. It's just not a big deal. It's a big deal, but it doesn't affect you as much as someone who's in their 40s and someone who's 17. That affects you a lot. So I saw that deep depression. So I'd leave the room, and right next to my mother's room, there was one TV in the house. It was in my mother's room. So I left the room. I went to the linen closet, and I put on different like towels or sheets or whatever the case may be, or you know, something on my hair, a broom, and I became a different character that they all knew. And I leave and I put on like a little show. And when I saw them laugh, I said, wow, that's pretty cool. And when other people laugh and you're making people happy, you're not dwindling on your problems so much. You know, you're not focused on yours, you're focused on them. And then it just morphed from there. I became, I was a boxer, and I had 21 fights. I like to say I won 16, and I came in second 5 times. Some people call it a loss, but
You're like the second winner.
right, exactly, which is like a silver medal in the Olympics when you think about it.
Absolutely.
So then my mother had gotten breast cancer, so I stopped fighting, helped take care of her. By the time I went back to fighting, I'd already graduated college now, and I was like, I need to get a job. So I didn't like office work, so I became a New York City cop, and I loved it. It was great. They made me retire because I got a neck injury and I broke my gun hand a couple of times. So I went back to comedy.
A couple of times.
A couple of times.
Usually, if you break it once, but like you were able to kind of like hobble it together.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard. After 3 times, my hand just got a little weak to get the gun out.
Right.
So I went back to comedy where I started at East Side Comedy Club, which was a great comedy club. Everyone came through there. Jerry Seinfeld, Eddie Murphy, Kevin James, Ray Romano, Rosie O'Donnell. All of them came through there. And as like my partner, Vinnie Mark, likes to say, they're all in Hollywood, but I'm here. I'm doing the Donna Drake show, so screw them. You know what I mean? So I went back to doing improv, and I found a partner, and he retired. We did great. We did 15 years, and then I found this other partner who had. This is the full story, which is really cool. I had asked Vinnie Mark when I was 19 years old. He was already successful. I said, Vinnie, give me some advice on what I'm doing wrong on stage. I had a solo act, and he said, well, you know, just be a little more friendly, smile, move the microphone, Great. I asked another comedian, he blew me off. Another comedian blew me off, but I always remembered Vinnie was very nice. So when Vinnie's wife got sick with this terrible disease, progressive supranuclear palsy, she had just passed away. It's like a Parkinson's type disease, meets like Lou Gehrig's. It's really bad. But I went with up to Saratoga to do the benefit for his wife. And I said, Vinnie, remember all those years ago you helped me? Well, I'm here to help you. And we developed this friendship, and we said, well, my partner retired. Why don't we, during COVID, he didn't want to perform anymore. So I said, okay, Vin, you want in? So we formed our act, and we've been going ever since, and it's been uphill.
I got to see you at Malloy College.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are really talented.
Thank you.
It was so funny because, like I said, we're friends, right? But there's something different, like being friends. But then when I went to your show, you weren't just like my friend Scott anymore. You were Scott Baker. And you had the whole entire theater like right in the palm of your hand. And I was so, I can't say the word proud of you because that means that it's something I did, but celebratory of your fame. I was like, oh, And then afterwards, people are coming up to you, Scott, and like, you know, they really had a great time. And I got to see what you brought them, which was pure joy.
Thank
And
you.
in that moment, I looked at you and I was like, wow, he's not just somebody that says he does comedy, like you do it.
It's a lot of fun because
So-
our act is so different because there's
Right.
two of us, and every bit we do, somebody from the audience is up on stage or they're from the audience joining in. And that's why I think we're so popular on cruise ships, casinos, resorts, and we work a lot. You know,
It's
so
fresh.
it's-
Every
yeah,
show's different
every show's
because
different, yeah.
every interaction
Yeah.
and every guest is different.
And you know what's fun is that we just did a show for the veterans in Carmel, New York. Oh, for your
my friend Fran.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fran,
Fran Capo.
fastest talker.
Yeah.
And we just did a show, and one of the comedians said, how do you guys not, blah, 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 you know, all over the, I said, we do work a lot. We're just, like Jackie Mason used to say, I'm the most popular comedian around, except no one knows it. You know, so we work a lot, but our act goes 45 minutes like that, you know, where he's like, I thought you guys were for 10 minutes. 45 minutes is gone. But when you're a solo act, you're thinking about your jokes. You're thinking about, okay, there's a time.
It's all on you.
Yeah, you see comedians looking
Yeah.
at their watch. You know, our act goes like flies by.
Either that or they're looking at the headlines on their Apple Watch to like, you know,
Oh,
remember
yeah.
remember how fresh David Brenner was? He was so
Yeah,
great. He
yeah.
always talked about the headlines of the day.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that was what he did. He was so good. He was so good at it. I always wondered, like, you know, maybe that's what they're checking. But
Maybe. I don't know.
But now, speaking of wonderful things and things that are happening in your journey, besides this, you also just got back from filming a new movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to know. I know, but
yeah.
I want my audience to know. So
It's
tell
really
me
cool.
about it again so that they could know now.
So I, you know, as a New York City cop, you throw your hat in the ring in New York for a lot of background work. And a lot of times they don't want to go casting. So like, oh, you were a cop, we have a cop role here. So I got into the union. So when I got into the union, I did the Adam Sandler movie as a background guy on anger management. And I played a Yankee ball player, believe it or not, because I did have a tryout for the New York Mets back when I was
Between boxing and
yeah,
things
because
that you
baseball
did,
was my
right?
first love.
Okay.
But you know, boxing was just more. It just for many reasons I won't get into. It just worked better for me. So I had a background in baseball, so they cast me as a center fielder. So I met a guy, Tom Malloy, out there, who he's a real Hollywood guy. And what I mean by that is he went to film school. I did not. He's immersed in the life. I am not. He has a film distribution company. I can't spell distribution. So, you know, we're different. But he's a really talented guy, and I remember back then I was like, you're going to make it in this business because you have a passion for it. And you know, if you have a passion, you'll find a way to make money. So he did. And we did this series called Midtown. And that was on Amazon. It got picked up by Amazon for 2 years. And it was free on Amazon. Now they charge 99 cents because Jeff Bezos is hurting and he needs the money.
Yeah, I
So-
heard he bought a new house in Florida.
and he needs to pay for it
Yep,
through 99
absolutely,
cents
yeah.
Midtown.
Yep.
But we got 70,000 views a month on it. And so we filmed the 2 seasons. Very poor technicals on it. So we're just sitting in a patrol car at Seinfeld meets Barney Miller. So Malloy and I developed this friendship. And we were just 2 cops. So we always want to write a movie one day. So we wrote a sitcom out of it, and it was taken by Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's just the way Hollywood is sometimes. So we did a movie, this time called Orange Justice. And it's the 2 characters, 2 cops who never shut up. And it's what really happens in a patrol car, really happens the way 2 cops are. We don't talk about crime, we talk about life's events. And it's just funny. Every 10 seconds, we try to have a laugh. We don't want the audience to be bored.
I'm more of a light kind of girl.
Yeah.
So like,
Well,
you know,
you'll like this movie.
I'm excited.
You know,
Thank you so much
thanks
for
for
being
having
here,
me.
Scott. Scott Baker. There you go. It's just 2 friends talking. And if you like The Substance, go see The Substance. But you definitely have to go see Scott's film. What was the name of it again, Scott?
Orange Justice.
Orange Justice. Thanks for watching.